Hey, how's it going? Great to see you again. Now, I know that I've been showing you guys a lot of new lights, a lot of little camera lights and LED panels and those strip and bar lights and everything. And the reason I've been showing you a lot of them is that there are a lot of them coming onto the market, and this is no exception. This is the new M160 from SmallRig, and like all the others, it's got something rather unique about it, which is cool. And I'm going to show you that right now. So let's get this box open and check it out. So here's the Pix M160 RGB LED light box from SmallRig, as you can see. Great, it's got a little switch on the side, I like that, and nice flat thin panel design that most of these things have got these days. So let's just open this box up and have a bit of a look. Oh, there you go. While that's trying to open, I can see on the side here that it's 2500 to 8500 Kelvin. It's got HSI control, it's got 12 different effects, it's got magnetic casing on it, and a 3800 milliamp hour. So that's some of the technical stuff, and as usual, one of these nice subtle slidey open boxes that we all like. Oh, now when you get in here, this is something a little bit different. It's got this nice little intro thing on here, which came off because of the way I was opening the box, but that's okay. So it's from SmallRig and SmallRig Big Dream. There we go. In here we've got a honeycomb. Now this isn't just a fabric honeycomb that you see with a lot of these things. This is a nice silicon honeycomb that sits all the way over the light here. I really like that because it's going to give you some really good directional light. So here we go, I'm going to show you how this works. It's got a nice little switch on top there like I was showing you. I assume it's got some power in it. Most of these do out of the box. Yep, it's about 2/3 full. And as you can see, the honeycomb here stops the light from spilling too far out. They just restrict the angle of the light quite easily. So that's what the honeycomb does. And that works very nicely on there. Now that's a silicon honeycomb. I can just take that off and show you that. So it fits nicely around the light. There's the light itself without it on. It's got the usual little LED panel on the back. It's got switch on top and controls on the side. These are fairly much standard controls and stuff you're going to find on most of this style of light. This one also has a USB A and a USB-C socket underneath. I believe you can use this for charging other devices and stuff. It's also got your 1/4 inch on the bottom here, which is normal, and an additional one on the side, so you can suspend it either way. So yeah, right, let's have a look, see what else is in the box anyway. Alright, I'll put those aside and have a look in here. We have got a USB-A to USB-C cable, fairly standard kind of thing to have. And also this little ball head in here. Being a SmallRig one, you know it's going to be a lot more reliable than your average Joe Bloggs one. And yep, that sits in there nice and tight. There's no slippage on that, which is what you want to see. And underneath here, there's something else I can see. What have we got? Oh, that's nice. Okay, so here's another silicon modifier. That's awesome. That will just sit over the light in the same way that the other one did. How do I get that one in? There we go. And what this is a diffuser. So it's going to give you a really nice soft light. Oh, that's wonderful. There you go. I'll just bring that up here and you can see how that's going to work. Let me just turn my main lights off here. There we go. And you can see how well that diffuser is going to work. That's just on 30% at the moment. So I'm going to increase the dimness, the brightness on that one, and you can see that there is giving a really good soft light. Sorry, I'm looking up at the monitor, not down at the camera. Yeah, I really like that one. That's going to be a really great shaping light. So obviously you're going to get the spill out the sides a bit more, but that's what you want when you're softening it. So the honeycomb is going to give you a directional light, and this is going to give you a really nice soft light. I like this. This is brilliant, really well thought out, and I'll turn my light back on. This is a great little kit. It's got also a little protective carry bag in here, so you can shove this in your camera bag without dinging it or anything else up. Lastly in the box is the usual instruction pamphlet. Now, like all of these lights, this one has got a variety of different lighting effects and white balancing and that sort of thing. So I'll just quickly take you through all of the different lighting effects that this thing's got, so you know what's there. First of all, of course, is the CCT mode. This is just the different white lights it's got, and you can kind of see that bouncing off the mat there. And you can change that from the 5400 Kelvin, which we're fairly used to, all the way down to 2500 Kelvin, which is quite a yellow white, and this goes all the way up to about 8000 Kelvin, 8500 Kelvin, and that's quite a blue white. I'll just get a piece of white paper down there so that you can see the sort of range that it cuts through, from the 8500 down through daylight white, which is at 5400, and yeah, all the way down to the 2500 Kelvin. So that's the CCT mode, pretty much what you'd expect, and fairly similar with all of this class of light. Now if I hit the set button on the side here, it will change to scene mode, and the first one is the flashing light scene, so emergency services. So it's like a police car one, and then if I tap this down, it goes to a more sedate sort of ambulance-y, I guess, and tap it down again, and it's another bit of a different effect. So there's those three different lights that you can get going there. So that's 3 of the 4. If I tap that again, it takes me to a sort of a flowing light thing where it sort of moves between the colors. You can see the color shifting through red, blue, green, purple, etc. And once again, if I change the mode on that one, it changes the speed and different oscillating patterns and that sort of thing in there. And quite an abrasive, flashy, stroby one, which is actually, that's quite nasty. So I'll hit that again. This takes me to a lightning or camera flash effect. So if you imagine it's sort of a paparazzi mode or a lightning storm, and a couple of different modes in here as well. So each of these 4 scene modes has 3 different settings, which is where you get the 12 different effects. And I'll take that back to A, and you can see this one's sort of a more sedate lightning thing. So those can be quite useful for a number of different scenes. And the last one is the heart mode. It's a sort of a romance scene, I guess. This number A is a very green light. I think you find this called a sort of a grass flow mode in some of the lights. I imagine that B is going to be kind of a party or bar light kind of thing, I guess. Not quite sure, but it's more blue-green tones in it. And the last one, of course, is bound to be, well, it's just a bit of a stroby firelight kind of thing. So yeah, they tend to have the simulated firelight sort of thing in some of these as well, so that kind of fits in there or could be used for that. If I hit the set button once more, it'll take me through to HSI mode. Now this is where you can actually set specific colors in here as well. So you've got the hue and saturation, and so what I'm going to do is just change the hue in there from 2 degrees right through to 360 degrees, and you see it's going through the blues and purples and all of those sorts of colors into the greens and then the reds and yellows. So it just sort of cycles through that as you change that color angle. And the saturation, of course, changes it from an intense color through to more of a white color as it gets close to 0. There's less saturation, and there you go. Finally, of course, there's also the dim button down the bottom, which you can use to really ramp up the color as well. I've just been running that low so it didn't sort of blow the camera out. So there you go, that's the different color modes you've got on this. It's not as many as some, but it is very smooth, and yeah, very nice to use. And I do like these rolly dials on the side. And finally, I'm just going to read a couple of things off the back of the pamphlet for those that want to know some technical stuff. The color temperature, as you know, is 2500 to 8500 Kelvin. The brightness on this light goes all the way from 100 to 0%. Now, the reason that sounds a little bit funny sometimes is that a lot of the lights will only go down as far as 10%. They can't sort of dim all the way down, or they start flickering. It's a bit more sophisticated circuitry. The CRI is 95 plus. That's the color indexing, and the TLC, which is a different index, is at 98. So that's the true color index, I think it is. What that means is that the color reproduction on them is actually very, very good on these. A lot of cheaper ones are sort of around the 90% to 95%, that sort of thing. The maximum illuminance is 1350 lux at half a meter, which is quite bright, so that's pretty good. It's a lot brighter than a lot of them. It's got a 3800 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery in it. As for power, the LED output power is 12 watts. The USB output power, so you can use it as a USB power bank if you need to as well, which is really useful to have these things that are multi-purpose. That's 5 volt at 2.4 amps max. And the input power for charging it is 5 volt 3 amp max at 15 watts, and it weighs about 230 grams, so about a quarter of a kilo, just under. So there you go, excellent light. And there's a link to the whole thing in the description down below. Go click on that. If you click on that link and buy one of these things, then I get a little bit of a kickback, so that's awesome. Even more reason to go and do it. And especially right at the moment, SmallRig has got some awesome deals and sales and coupons available for November, so go and check that out as well. Link in below, all of that neat stuff. SmallRig didn't give me this one, I bought this. I just really like their products, and yeah, go and consider grabbing one of these yourself, because they're fantastic. In fact, grab 3 of them. I'm going to get some more. I'm really impressed with this, especially with the silicone gels. These modifiers really make a big difference to them. Anyway, that's all we got for this one. Nice quick video, minimal edit, and I will see you in another video real soon. Have a great evening.